Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Edupreneur Diaries. In this video, we're going to talk about the 6 ways that I've improved my life financially and how we need to unlearn all the negative habits that we've been taught and all the negative habits that we've seen, and how we need to relearn the correct way to manage our lives financially. So let's get into the first way that I improved my life financially. These are in no particular order, but I'm going to start with number 1, paying off debt. When I started my financial freedom journey back in 2018, I had $30,000 in credit card debt. Yes, and I was able to pay that off in 2 years. I won't go into details in this video, but I do want to take a look at money.usnews.com at the 14 easy ways that they say that you can pay off debt, and hopefully these tips will help someone. So according to the article, before you even start repaying debt, you need to first sit down and make a list of all of your debt. You need to also know the remaining balance on your debts and the interest of your debts. Then you want to identify whether or not this is going to be credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage debt, or whatever. Okay, so here are some suggestions of what you should do. You can create a budget, which I highly recommend. You can pay off the most expensive debt first. Pay off the smallest debt first is another option. You can also pay more than the minimum balance, which is what I did when I was on my financial freedom journey, which is how I paid off $30,000 in 2 years. Also, you can take advantage of balance transfers. So there are some credit cards that you may be able to get to where you can transfer a balance onto, and there's no interest for 12 months or 18 months, and that can definitely help out. Stop your credit card spending. So this is a good one. This is one that I had to learn. Yes, I still use credit cards, but now I know how to use them properly. So you want to stop credit card spending if you don't know how to use them properly, and you want to just learn the correct way to use them so that they are beneficial to you. Next, we have use a debt repayment app. So if you like electronics, if you like apps, then this may be the way for you to go. Delete credit card information from online stores. This is essentially going to help you hopefully stop spending, so you're not getting those credit card information pop-ups to where it automatically puts in your information. Sell unwanted gifts and household items. This can help you have more money. Change your habits. So this is a good one. Habits and routines is something else that I had to learn that also helped improve my financial journey. It actually should be one of the items on my list, but it's not. But it definitely helps if you come up with some better habits and routines for your money. Increasing your income, you all. This is a must. If you are trying to achieve financial freedom and you're trying to get out of debt, you're going to have to increase your income. So you're going to have to do some type of side hustle, come up with a way to earn extra money so that you're able to get out of debt. Debt consolidation. Now, this is actually the way that I got out of debt. I consolidated all of my credit cards, and I'll talk about this in an upcoming video. And this is what helped me. That's just the way that I wanted to go. I needed one payment and one payment only. I could not do 13, 14 different payments, which is what I was doing. And the last way that you can pay off debt is avoid returning to bad habits when you reach your goal. Now, I can speak for myself. This is actually my second time paying off my debt. I've done it once before, but as we all do, I reverted back to those bad habits. So this is why I mentioned earlier that we need to unlearn those bad habits and behaviors that we've learned and that we've seen, and relearn the correct way of doing things financially. So that's the goal that I have for myself, and that is what I want you all to achieve if you're watching this video. The second way that I improved my life financially is by using sinking funds. Now, if you have watched one of my previous videos, and I'll link it right here, on how I use my sinking funds, you know that I did not even know what this term was before I started my journey. But now it is probably one of the best things that I could have ever done. So we're going to take a look at YNAB, and we're going to see what their definition of a sinking fund is and how to set up a sinking fund. So a sinking fund is a fixed amount of money that you save each month to prepare for those non-monthly expenses like car repairs or things that happens twice a year, such as insurance payments. Some other common sinking funds can be things such as home repairs, medical expenses, vacations, Christmas gifts, building an emergency fund, and even things like Amazon Prime membership. Now, if you're trying to figure out how much you should set aside for your sinking funds, to me, the easiest thing to do is, let's say you're saving for Christmas. I would figure out the amount that I needed for Christmas and then divide it by 12 and then save that amount each month for 12 months until I reach my goal. As far as why you need a sinking fund, it is simple. A sinking fund is going to help you stay out of credit card debt. It's going to keep you from borrowing money, right? So the money that you need will already be there because you would already have it saved for those special events. So sinking funds are extremely important. You can create a sinking fund by simply keeping them in a separate checking account or savings account. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I love SoFi. SoFi Boss is where I keep most of my sinking funds. I also use Capital One 360, another great online bank account where you can save your sinking funds. But there are just so many different apps out there that you can use, so many different accounts and banks that you can use. So just choose one and get started. The third way that I have improved my life financially is by tracking my spending. Let's take a look at nerdwallet.com and how they talk about the steps for tracking your monthly expenses. So one of the things that you can do to track your expenses is simply to check your account statements. So of course, this is always a good one. You know that every time you make a transaction, it's going to be on your bank account statement. So just keep track of your transactions on your statement. This is one way that you can track your expenses. Another way is to categorize your expenses. So I have a YouTube video where I talk about my budget categories. So you can check out that video. I follow the Budget Mom. She is amazing. I use her expense trackers, and I will link all of this in the description below. But this is an awesome way to categorize your expenses. So I highly recommend that you create some budget categories, track your expenses, and then categorize them so that you can see how much money you are spending for each category. Another option for tracking your spending is to use a budgeting app. In the past, I've used a budgeting app called Every Dollar. This is one that was created by Dave Ramsey. I've also heard that You Need a Budget, or YNAB, is also a good app. Now, you will have to pay for this one. For Dave Ramsey's, I think there's a free version and a paid version. So if you like tracking your expenses via an app, then that may be the route for you to go. Now let's jump over at Forbes.com and take a look at some other options of what you can do to track your spending. Another option is to have a separate spending account. I highly recommend this one. I have multiple accounts, and one of them is a spending account. So everything as far as my bills, my variable expenses, and my fixed expenses is going to come out of my spending account. Next, they talk about on Forbes.com to track as you go. So you may want to just keep track of your receipts and write them down on your expense tracking sheet as you go. So this could be on a daily basis. This could be on a weekly basis, but I don't recommend anything over a weekly basis to track as you go. Otherwise, it's going to become too much, okay? Another option for tracking your expenses is to try the envelope method. So this is going to be cash envelope methods. Now, I know the Budget Mom does the cash envelope method. Me personally, I am not a cash spender. I am more of a digital envelope spender or digital cash envelope spender. But whichever one you are, you can try using the envelope method. So if you like cash, then this may work for you. If you don't like cash, you can go the other route and do the digital cash envelopes. And again, you can check out my video where I talk about my sinking funds and how I use digital cash envelopes. The fourth way that I improve my life financially is by creating a checking account cushion. So we're going to take a look at the budgetmom.com and how a checking account cushion can save your budget according to one of her articles. If you have not subscribed to her newsletters, she sends out weekly newsletters every single Friday that's going to give you a nice freebie. So I highly recommend that you subscribe if you have not already. So for me, I created a $1,000 checking account cushion. This is just the amount that I wanted to set for myself because I feel comfortable with that amount in my account at all times. But you may start with $50, you may start with $100, $500, whatever it is. You just want to build up that cushion so that you don't have to worry about overdrafts, or you don't have to worry if your electricity bill is higher, your water bill is higher this month. You'll have that cushion in your account to help you. So the Budget Mom talks about what a checking account cushion is, and as I've already stated, a checking account cushion is a small cash buffer that lives primarily in your checking account at all times. It has a lot of benefits, such as keeping you from having an overdraft and also helping you when your bills are higher than expected. So this cushion is also going to keep you from being embarrassed or frustrated. You don't have to worry about bounced checks or declined debit card transactions. It's essentially just going to give you a peace of mind, okay? You don't have to worry about bringing your account balance down to zero each month because you have that cushion. By the way, here is the Budget Mom's workbook that she has created. So this is what it looks like here on the screen. Again, I highly recommend her. She has a couple different workbooks. She has the Budget by Paycheck workbook, which I have in the box set, but she also has a planner, the Leverage Planner, and I love the Leverage Planner. That's what I use for myself on a daily basis. Thought I would just let you guys know that. Now, don't try to build your checking account cushion up all at once. Know that this is going to take you some time to do. But remember, if you are trying to build your cushion faster, the best thing for you to do is to try to find some extra money. So get a side hustle so that you can get to your goal a lot faster. Now, if a side hustle is not something that you can do right now, you can certainly try to cut your expenses by negotiating your bills lower. You can also use cash back apps such as Fetch Rewards. By the way, if you don't have Fetch Rewards, go ahead and sign up using my referral link. I will greatly appreciate that. Now, let's look at number 5. The fifth way that I have improved my life financially is by setting up AutoPay to my credit cards. Yes, so I still use credit cards, and now I have set my bills on AutoPay, but it doesn't go on my debit card. It is straight to my credit card, and I absolutely love this. Ever since I started this is probably the best thing that I could have ever done. And so let's take a look at some pros and cons of setting up automatic bill payments. Now, this is according to nerdwallet.com. Let's look at the pros first. The first pro, obviously, is that it is convenient. for your bills to be on AutoPay. You don't have to worry about going to different websites trying to pay your bills every single month. You don't have to worry about mailing in your bills every single month. It's just going to be more convenient to put your bills on AutoPay. Now, I like for it to be on my credit card because if something happens, I need to dispute something, a transaction. It's more difficult to me to dispute it if it's a debit card versus a credit card. And also, they seem to take care of it faster on a credit card, and your money is not tied up while you're waiting for them to take care of the problem if you do have an issue with a transaction. Another pro is that it can improve your credit score. Remember, your payment history is going to be the single biggest component of your credit score. So if it's on AutoPay, you know that you are paying those bills every month on time, and of course that's going to be beneficial to you and your credit score. So some of the bills that you can put on AutoPay are things like your mortgage, your utility bills, your cell phone bill, streaming services, subscription services, credit card bills, auto loans, student loans. For me, I have everything on AutoPay except the one bill that won't allow me to put it on AutoPay. So if it allows me to do it, it's on AutoPay and it goes straight to my credit card every single month. Now remember, I still keep track of my transactions. If I'm setting this up on AutoPay, of course I'm getting notifications on my phone every single time a charge hits my credit card. I do verify that the charge is the correct amount, and I do track it on my expense tracker. Now, before I talk about number 6, I do want to mention a couple of things that helped me along the way that I did not include in this video. And one of those is just changing your money mindset. Don't be afraid to create a budget. Don't be afraid to live on less money than you make. And absolutely under no circumstances do you want to go back into debt. So change your money mindset. Also, change those bad habits and create a money routine. All right, so let's talk about number 6. Number 6 is simply watching YouTube videos, you guys, reading books. So this is the 6th way that I improved my life financially. There are some amazing YouTube channels that I want to give credit to. The Budget Mom, if you don't follow her, I highly recommend her. Also, The Organized Money, His and Her Money, and The Brand Hustler. So these are the top 4 that I probably watch the most, but there are a ton of channels that I follow and a ton of channels and YouTubers that I love. Also, a good friend of mine and my soror has just started her new channel. So if you guys want to subscribe to her, please do so. Her channel is called Phoebe, which stands for Finance, Entrepreneurship, Education, and Business. Now, if you guys are still watching this video and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please support the channel, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time Edupreneur Diaries posts a new video. Thanks for watching. If you need a way to track your monthly bills, check out my bill tracker printable, linked in the description below and also in my Etsy shop.